friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another first listen review. This might seem a little bit odd for me to be reviewing, but there wasn't a whole lot of stuff that came out this week. And I just kind of was looking through and I was like, you know what? I used to listen to him back in the day and I haven't really gotten much of his stuff. And I'm usually one of these guys that gets everything from an artist. And this guy has so many albums that there's no way I'm ever going to own every single one of them and be able to listen to them decently, but I figured I'd give this one a shot. It is Nils Lofgren. I've heard people say Nils Lofgren, but I've always said Nils Lofgren. I think that's how he says it. And it's his new album called Mountains. And I don't know what number this is, 16 or something like that maybe. I really don't know, but he's got a lot of albums. He's been involved in tons of stuff. Probably most people know him from Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. He's been in and out of that for ever. So I think right from the start. But I have not been the biggest follower of Bruce Springsteen, so I don't know. I enjoy some of his stuff. I've got a few of his albums, and when he started getting, I don't even know how to say it, but anyway, I just stopped listening to Bruce a few years ago, and he recently Nils actually joined Crazy Horse here a few years ago as well, and he's been on the last 3 or 4 releases from them. They did some some weird release where each individual member released 3 of their own songs by themselves, and I didn't get that, but Neil's been releasing a lot of stuff lately too, so a lot of new stuff along with a lot of archival stuff, and I just haven't been able to keep up with all of that. I like Neil Young a lot. I really enjoy listening to his music, so I haven't had a chance to listen to that Crazy Horse stuff yet, but hopefully I'll get around to that. But anyway, back to this album. If you've never heard any of his stuff, it's very similar to the style of music of the bands he plays in. He's been involved in more than the ones I've just mentioned. There's a lot of stuff he's done. If you check out his discography, it's pages long of stuff he's been involved in. So I'm not going to get in all that, but he's kind of developed a style of his own because he kind of records everything all himself, and then he occasionally sometimes has people come in and do some guest appearances, and on this album he had a few guest appearances as well. In fact, he had jazz bassist Ron Carter, and I'm trying to think who it was he played with. I think it was Clive Davis, but I'm not sure. I didn't really listen to that kind of stuff ever, so I don't know. I've heard the name, but anyway, he must have been a big fan of his. He had him play on one song on here, one of the slower ones called On Your Smile. He had actually David Crosby came in and recorded before he passed away, and it's funny, he has Neil Young singing on this album, which those two, Neil Young and Dave Crosby, are on the same album together. Different songs, but it's kind of funny if they're both on the same album, if you know any of the history there. And Ringo Starr, he plays drums on one song. I think that one's called We Better Find It. And actually, that one's got a children's choir on it too, which is a little strange. If you like that type of stuff, it was good. If you don't, I was kind of on the fence with that one. But his songwriting is kind of like storytelling, like the people he's been involved with. I like that kind of thing. Like when there's just a story told, and not I don't like political messages in my music, so I tend to steer away from that. One way or another, I don't usually listen to stuff that is that. And some of the people he's worked with have done that, and I'm glad to see I didn't pick up on anything in here anyway. There's one he's got an ode to Charlie Watts, which is cool. It's called Won't Cry No More. And he's got one ode to his wife. That one was called I Remember Her Name. There's a lot of slower songs on this one, which I would kind of wish there was a little bit more upbeat stuff, because that's the stuff I prefer him doing more. His voice, he's 72 years old, so he's got this really pure, clean sounding voice, a very youthful sounding voice actually. And when he sings some more upbeat stuff, I enjoy it. When he tries to sing the slower ballady stuff, he doesn't write in the way that's got a strong enough melody to carry the slower stuff. When more upbeat, he seems to come up with better melodies, but that's just my personal opinion. I say that a lot, I know. But he sings very well, but I think he sings more catchy or memorable stuff when he's doing upbeat. And, that's just kind of my take on things. It's a very short album. It's only like 38 minutes long. Nothing really excessively long except one way only ticket out. That's what it's called. It's 5 minutes long. Everything else is right around the 3 to 4. Actually, almost everything's 3.5 minutes long, but or a little shorter. And anyway, I just figured I'd pick this one up. Not gonna go on too long about this one. I enjoyed it. I probably won't be putting this one on a lot, only because there's so many slower songs on it. Unless I'm like in a really down mood, even though like they're kind of an upbeat, almost cheesy type sounding. I hate to say that, but they are kind of like slower songs. But there's not. I like the style of music when like people he works with, like Bruce and Neil, when they write slower stuff, it's more sad. I don't know. I guess is a way or melancholy. His just seems slow and happy, which I don't know. It's a weird combination, and that's not really my favorite thing. But the upbeat stuff I enjoy a lot more. And I've got some of his older stuff, and I've always enjoyed everything I've heard from him. He has more upbeat stuff on his earlier stuff. This one, maybe it's just because this is just the way he's writing nowadays. Obviously, probably the reason. A lot of background singing on this. From it sounds like a little bit more than I would prefer. It just seems like that's taken away from the songwriter, which he seems like to me is more like a singer-songwriter type. Whereas if he had toned down some of the instrumentation and some of the vocals, I think it would have actually benefited the song. Just my personal little picks and pokes at it. But some people may like what he did. Obviously, he does. So anyway, tell me what you think. If you got any cool Nils Lofgren stories you want to share, always feel free. And always, as I ask, because we're getting a lot more comments between people on here besides me, between each other, and I think that's really cool to watch. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, just so we can get more people involved in the conversation, because that's all this is us sitting around talking about music and stuff we found that we like, maybe some stuff that maybe we don't like. But anyway, feel free as always, and until next time, see ya.